What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're reacting to the Elestrals ban list.
Hey, I'm saving big with TD
And,
Insurance for being a claims-free hybrid driving university grad.
Okay, there we go.
We're sending Like a Void, Champion of Artemis, to Tartarus.
Thank goodness. You know what? I'm fine with this hit. I was thinking Warp up to 1, because I didn't think they'd hit a Firestorm card on this, because it's like, really, what was the point of printing this card? You printed it, and then you banned it a month or two later. Like, at that point, it felt like admitting that they were wrong, and I didn't think that they'd do that, but, I mean, fine, that's fine. I'm still very... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Sorta.
To announce the mid-season ban and restricted list update for Elestrals TCG. This list will be effective...
Okay. Maybe he said sorta because they're hitting Rip up to 1. And I was right. We'll see.
On July 29th, when Elestrals Clash goes into early access on Steam. If you've not wishlisted Elestrals Clash, definitely should do so. And get excited as players... This list will be
effective July 29th. Okay.
And every card is free. It's going to be incredible. We've got this awesome list here to shake up the metagame just in time for that. And this new ban and limited list will be active for the August 2nd premiere event, as well as the duration and remainder of the Firestorm metagame. After extensive testing from our ban team and taking in feedback from the top players in the game, we've ultimately made some decisions to limit a handful of cards in the metagame to create a more diverse play experience, reduce fatigue from certain strategies, and ultimately make the better for us. It's worth noting that any card that is added to a limited or ban list may come off of it in the future, as we are always testing different strategies and ideas to create the best play experience at the highest levels of competitive play for all players. The first card that we're limiting to 1 copy, effective July 29th, is Hurricane. Hurricane was originally introduced to the game to help quell some of the challenges of players setting multiple back row and other players having to fight through that back row to ultimately...
No, that's a fair hit. That's a fair hit.
This really does do what it intends to do. It also creates non-interaction points where players don't have any opportunity.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Which is a huge part of what Elestrals actually is. Hurricane is one of those cards that's fun to use when you're the one.
I do like that.
It feels terrible when you get blown back and your entire rim row is destroyed, and then you're
Decent hit.
Crazy combo, and you have no opportunities to interact. By playing Hurricane as a power card, so 1 copy, will require players to make some more difficult decisions when managing their spirit deck of whether or not they want to include the spirits to justify 1 Hurricane. We're going to continue to develop more face down removal for the game that doesn't quite have the same effect as Hurricane, where it blows up the entire field, but rather can be used a little bit more strategically, like a thunderstorm or like a blizzard, for example. Part of this decision to limit Hurricane takes into consideration some of the cards like Divine Champion's Livestream and some strategies that may kind of conflict with what Hurricane is trying to do. Cards like Thunderstorm are going to see a lot more play, and because of that, players are going to need to be able to account for that by setting multiple back row. In a world where Thunderstorm is one of the top tier cards in the game and Hurricane is at 3 copies, I think we're going to create a very bad player experience for many players and result in many non-interactive games. Hurricane is a card that we're going to...
I don't know if you guys saw the recent leak. It was from the binder. The binder image that was shown up by the distributors. There was a new Funglo, and the effect was it was Funglo charged. If a Thunderstorm Supercell is enchanted on the field, or if Thunderstorm is cast, you can special summon it from your hand. So I believe that since Thunderstorm Supercell has to be enchanted, that makes it sound like they're going to be making a field spell for the Thunderstorm decks. So yeah.
Going to continue to test and monitor, but I feel very optimistic with it at 1 copy. The next card we are limiting to 1 copy is Kinleo. Kinleo has long been one of the strongest...
Bang! That's in the pre-bro list. I told you. I freaking told you, bro. This card is too broken.
Regardless of their enchantment cost, simply by nexusing. Its full potential hasn't been met up until Hephaestus and the artifact support came in Firestorm, allowing it to unleash its full power and become one of the most dominant decks in the metagame. I've heard this saying many times that it's the second Kinleo that gets you. And Firecasters will...
I literally said this in my ban list. Kinleo was fine during the first few sets because of the fact that Fire was absolutely trash. And that's why only Equalings got hit. Even though Kinleo was like, honestly better than Equalings. And it's like, now that there's good fire cards, this card's too good. So,
plenty of tools to
I
access
freaking told you.
Cards like Small Tuga and Stoke Forge to minimize the impact of this hit, but allow other players to focus their counters onto dealing with this powerful threat and ensuring that, generally speaking, they won't have to deal with it again once they see Kinleo 1 time. The third and final card that will be limited to 1 copy for this list is Morlith. Now, in our last video, we made a limit to Rise from the Ashes, which was designed as a way to reduce the power level of Blizzard. And then Josh went and won a tournament with Blizzard.
So, does this mean we're doing Werewolf up to 2? Or maybe we're going banned next. I don't know. We'll see.
And we were like, oh wait, that's a thing. His combination of utilizing Mountains of Boreas alongside Brutalings to increase the power level of his Cedar Swords and his Morliths became incredibly overwhelming for other players. Morlith is a very unique card in the context of the other Lit Elestrals because its condition to be cast is not necessarily a comeback mechanic. It can be generated very advantageously by simply playing pieces like Morfrost Lycan form to be able to load up your Underworld and then resolve Morlith's casting condition. Self-mill is a strategy that has a good amount of support coming in upcoming sets, and I think that if Morlith stays at 3 copies, it would become way too overwhelming for players to deal with. I also think the Frost element has a couple really cool strategies that can be explored and will continue to be highlighted in upcoming sets. And by giving a little bit more room to breathe for those other Elestrals and cards, we should see more diverse strategies coming out of the Frost element. I think all 3 of these changes will be a very positive change to the metagame, allowing players to explore new options and remove some of the more powerful cards and limit them so that their frequency is simply reduced. I think specifically with the launch of Clash as well, they should give a better new player experience for anyone trying Elestrals for the first time. I mentioned in the introduction of this video that Like a Void Champion of Artemis was going to be banned and sent to Tartarus, and that is indeed true. We are indeed banning Like a Void Champion of Artemis. This was a card that we tested extensively and looked at various combinations on how to solve the splashability of the Like a Void package and the overwhelming nature of swarming the field with multiple Werepup without much interaction from your opponent. The 6/5 stat line proves to be very challenging for players to deal with, and it's all the Werepups that hit the field that can turbo into various ascension. They become very overwhelming, but the first person to establish their Like a Void ultimately will generally win the clash, and that creates an unfun game experience for many players, especially new players who are entering the game. We looked at opportunities.
Okay, so like, my question is, why did you print it then? Like, it just doesn't make sense. because this card came out like a month or two ago. Like, there's no way in your testing you didn't see, the card that summons 3 guys to the field turn 1 is a little bit broken. Just doesn't make sense to me, but
is like limiting wear pop to 1 copy, or even banning Full Moon, but ultimately the decision to ban Like a Void Champion of Artemis is a unique one, because we have a very different solution for how we're handling this card than really any other card that we've approached in the past. Now, Elestrals has done functional erratas in the past, and we've also done Escape from Tartarus versions of Elestrals to kind of reimagine some of our favorite Elestrals.
Okay.
However, in this case, we're going to be using an errata for Like a Void Champion of Artemis to tweak its effects slightly to bring it more in line with the competitive metagame and the desires of our players. Like a Void Champion of Artemis will be on the ban list from July 29 until Livestream releases. However, it will come off the ban list when Livestream releases with a brand new errata text that will be featured in the Artemis starter deck, as well as a new printing in Shattered Stars. This errata text is going to simply change the condition where Like a Void can cast any number of wear pups to now say that Like a Void can only cast wear pups up to the number of suppressed cards on an opponent's fields. I'm actually a really big fan of this change because I think it brings it more in line.
okay, see, this is really good, because it's obviously not splashable at all now. Because, I mean, you're not gonna play Gorgons on a normal cast that does nothing, just so you can go Full Moon into Like a Void to summon 1. So this makes it so it's only able to be used in suppression decks. This is like what it should have been.
And what Artemis as a strategy as a whole is trying to do, and this will allow players to continue to explore splashing Moonrise Like a Void into their deck, while also allowing suppression control based decks to still use the power of Like a Void, but more so focused within that archetype. Players will still be able to use their Firestorm or Stellar Rare Tournament Pack Like a Void, but they'll need to refer to the updated errata text when competing. I'm really excited to hear your feedback to this approach, so please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As I said, we have done erratas for cards in the past that did slightly change their functional effects. This is probably the most extreme case of this, and I wanted to try it out because again, we were introducing the card again through Livestream starter decks. There was a key card there. It's also being introduced in Shattered Stars with a very, very cool artwork that I want you guys to be able to enjoy. But ultimately, this is a great card that has a lot of space in the game. I think it just came a little too early in the metagame, and ultimately created some bad taste in people's mouths with it being overwhelming to play against. By switching into a suppression focused strategy, it's more in line with what the effect probably should have been from the get-go, and this is a great learning experience for us. So I encourage you to leave your feedback on this approach for erratas in the future. We're going to continue to explore the Escape from Tartarus cards, and I'm looking forward to hearing how you feel about us doing this errata approach for very minor changes to card effects in the future. That concludes our ban and limited list for the upcoming
Okay. So this is good. No Bears hits, which is fine. I did think Ursaden Turbo was probably could have been hit, but obviously it didn't need to be hit. I believe I predicted Morlith to 1. I predicted Kinleo to 1. And then they took the other route with the Like a Void stuff, but I still don't really understand why we printed Like a Void, because like they talk about like how they have these like extensive tests, but how do you have an extensive test and not realize that this card is insane? Like, I genuinely just don't understand it. So, but any testers want to comment? Like, tell me how it got passed. I'm genuinely
format.
curious.
There's a ton of cards that we tested and looked at, but ultimately decided to keep the changes.
Overall, I like
to
this
mention,
list.
I know there's been some discussions
This
around
is
the
a really good
and limiting
list.
of some of the power counter runes like Gorgon's Gate.
Gorgons didn't need to be hit. I know not to talk about either PT or Shield. Honestly, they could go to like one of those, maybe Shield to 1, but then it's like, oh no, instead of playing 2 Shield, I'm playing 1 Shield. So I don't know. You could hit counter runes, but they didn't.
Gaze,
So
Shield of Achilles,
it's
Poison
okay.
of Darrow, and a few others. My goal is to continue to introduce more elemental specific runes, especially counter runes, that allow more interesting play patterns and create more dynamic gameplay strategies, as opposed to cards that are splashable into every single deck. This is something that's going to take a little bit of time, and you'll continue to see it build off of and develop in Livestream and future sets. Once those sets come out and we've introduced more options for players, especially elemental specific options, then we can take a look at limiting some of these powerful counter runes to increase diversity among the metagame. It's worth noting that anytime you utilize a structure deck or starter deck, as long as it's unchanged, you can use it legally, even if it has banned or limited cards in it. Our team is going to continue testing various scenarios and monitoring the competitive metagame and the health of the game, both with the launch of Elestrals Clash and the upcoming premiere event, to ultimately make Elestrals the best card game we possibly can. Don't forget, Elestrals Clash launches on early access on July 29 with this ban list in effect. We've got a wishlist campaign right now to unlock the Stellar Rare Buddy and more, and we've got a Gleam giveaway to win a Steam Deck, so don't miss out. That's all in the description below. August 2nd is our next premiere event, so make sure you guys sign up. We've got premiere packs, we've got epic prizing, and a lot of fun with this brand new ban and limited list that's going to shake things up immensely. I look forward to seeing the discussions and comments around this ban and limited list, and we'll continue to monitor feedback to make.
Look at that. The thumbnail actually shows quite a bit. It's a crazy face the Kinleo's making. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, this thumbnail's fire.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Infinity.
Like and subscribe. Tell me I was right in the comments, and if you don't believe me, watch my Banlist video. And then pretend that you can comment on that, because YouTube disabled the comments. Peace.